Hi everybody, today I'm going to be showing you guys my sketchbooks. I'm doing this video for two reasons. The main reason is because I'm running out of video ideas, and the other reason is because I thought I might as well show you guys some things that I can do. So yeah, we'll start with this big one because it has a little bit more stuff in it. So this big one I got a while back. I don't remember how long it was, but I think it was like a year ago or something. I don't even know. No, it was definitely about a year ago. But one of the first things I've done whenever I was using this was practice drawing South Park characters. You can see I did a couple practice things right here because I thought that the style was very interesting. It's very cartoony and actually pretty easy to figure out how to do. At least get the basics down. So I messed around with that a little bit. I made this little drawing right here of my Stick of Truth character. This was from my first playthrough of that game, where I had an orange outfit. This right here, this is just a random picture I did of myself lying in bed. I don't really know how this idea came about. I just thought of doing something like this one day, and yeah. This was my character in the Stick of Truth at the end of the game. This was the outfit that I was rocking. Had the bunny ears, the barbarian outfit, the gloves. I really like how these claw marks turned out. They turned out really nice with the red markings and stuff. This was something I made during Pride Month because, yeah, I specifically made this on Bisexual Day, and I made my little Inkling character in a little blanket that's basically like the colors of the bisexual flag. So we have that. This is my South Park character in a pile of leaves. Some of you guys may have seen this in one of my first speed art videos where I basically took like 4 different speed arts into one video. This was one of them. I transferred this onto digital art and made what you guys saw there. This one's sideways. This is whenever I first started playing the Fractured But Whole. That's my superhero character fighting a Raisins girl, because they are some enemies that you can encounter while exploring the world. This was actually like an unfinished drawing of a Sonic character that I made. It was like one of those things that I've had in my back pocket for a while and never really thought of like taking out for the public. But you guys can kind of see it. Here's what I ended up making. It's not the best, but and again, this was from a while back. This was before I started doing like methods with what do you call it? Methods where you like do all the posing and stuff and like stick figures and, before you actually like do all this other stuff. I'm sure some of you guys who are artists know what I'm talking about. Another character of another drawing of my Inksona with little wolf ears, little paws, and a tail. I like that one. It's been a while since I've done anything Splatoon related, now that I think about it. It's just kind of like, I've just kind of grown out of it, I guess. Moved on to better things. Yeah. I might do something with it later on, but we'll see. We'll see. Here's another picture of my South Park character. He is also a wolf person. I have a whole like backstory thing for him and all that. Made him into like a full fleshed out character. This is another drawing of my character from the Fractured But Whole. This is kind of like the kind of outfit that he had whenever I finished the main story. I had this cap, excuse me, the sweatshirt thing, and these are like the gloves that have the spikes on them. I thought they looked pretty cool, so I decided to use those. I also had some assassin moves, so that's why he's got a knife. Yeah. Some of these drawings came from whenever I was on the South Park Amino. So that's kind of like where you have all, well, where I have all that stuff. This is something I did for Butter's birthday. Fun fact, Butter's birthday is on September 11th. Yeah. So I did that, and I also did that. Moving on. These are like, this is kind of like whenever I started doing like little drawings on one page, because, you know, I've learned that whenever you have a sketchbook, you don't have to fill up all the pages with just these drawings and stuff. You can just fill them up with small little drawings or small little things to help you practice some things. So this is kind of when I started to, well, at least try to develop this habit. I made another drawing of my character in the Stick of Truth, but I gave him the eye scar that he's got. This right here, this actually represents my character's past. I might go into more detail on this in like another video or something, if I ever decide I want to do something with this. But yeah, there's that. This was from a challenge on Amino. It was like a Nintendo South Park crossover thing, so I decided to make Cartman dressed up as Wario. I felt like it was the most, what's the word I'm looking for? It was the most clever thing, I guess, since Cartman's a fat ass. And so is Wario. So I decided to do that. Let's see here. We have this other drawing. People who followed me on South Park Amino probably saw these drawings before. This is my character, and this is Heidi dressed up as a cat from that one Halloween episode. This I kind of made to practice drawing the eyes, because one thing I noticed is that whenever I drew the eyes, they were a little bit uneven, so I decided I would try to practice making them not so even. I mean, uneven. Yeah. This is a drawing of me as a wolf. This design originated from Andrea-chan, and I just decided to draw it here. That's a drawing of the hand. I forget what I had there. It was probably because I wanted to see if I can get better at drawing hands. And there's that. This was also in the speed art video I did. I made this whenever Piranha Plant was announced for Smash Ultimate. I made this little drawing of him biting onto Pichu's head. It's kind of cute in a way, because you can see Peach's face. He's a little bit confused, doesn't know what's going on. And you got that plant. And yeah. This is basically what my South Park character would look like if he was a vamp kid. He's got the red hair. He's got a vampire bite as well, the fangs, the makeup. I tried to make him look just a little bit more edgy, but not like goth edgy, because goth kids and vamp kids are not the same. And if anybody tells you otherwise, they're wrong. This was just a random design I had. It was kind of like an alter ego, because I actually played through the Fractured But Whole again one time, for a little bit at least, and this is kind of like the thing I had going here. This is the thumbnail of one of my videos of the Fractured But Whole. This was whenever I made my character dress up as Wendy. And this is a drawing I made, and I transferred it to digital art, and I used it as a thumbnail of that video. These are the four main boys. At some point I was thinking of making a comic, but I never really got around to it. So yeah, I don't know if I'll still do that or not. I don't know if I will. This, I tried drawing my my gacha character that now I use as my channel mascot, I guess you'd call it. I'm not very proud of this one. This one looks ugly. Let's see what we got here. I drew Goth Stan right here. Look how this one turned out. Not sure what that was. I think it was just... I think this was gonna be this. But then I just like... kind of messed it up. But this was just a random drawing I made. As you can see, you can still see some of the pre-sketches and stuff, I guess you'd call it, because I transferred it into a digital drawing, and I didn't like completely finish it on here because I was just gonna do that whenever I made it into a digital art on my phone. This was from another Amino challenge. This was the screenshot challenge, and it was a challenge where I took two GIFs that one of them went through different South Park characters and one of them went through different outfits. I had to take a screenshot of each of them and see what I got. And for this one I got Heidi, and I got this outfit right here, and I drew this. I like how this turned out. Let's see here. Oh yeah, this was gonna be this one's new drawing I did called Cooking with Samsora. I was just gonna draw it on paper, but I decided to just go to just do the whole thing on my what do you call it, art software on my phone. Well, not really software, it's an app that I have on my phone. This is a random character that came from me and Andrea. It's Peevee. It's a combination of Pichu and Eevee. Basically what you'd get if Pikachu and Eevee had a child. Yeah. This right here, this is basically based off of something from South Park. It's Camp New Grace. It's like a camp for bi-curious kids, and they try to like make them straight, I guess. And since my character is okay with being bisexual, he just tears it off. Tyler 1 style. Those of you know what I'm talking about. Get this shit off me! Ah! Moving on. This is a drawing I made for Andrea Chan for her birthday. I tried to like mimic her style a little bit, and I think it looks pretty good. This is another character I made. Her name is Summer. She is another Sonic character, in case you couldn't tell. I like how this turned out a lot. And I also like what I did with this character. It's like a little more original, you know? Here, I made another drawing of my character. This one looks a lot better than the other one I have in here. Definitely like how this one looks. This is another digital drawing I made. As you can see, it doesn't have the final sketches on it. This is based off of something from an old Flash cartoon called Super Mario Bros. Z that kind of combined Mario and Sonic and Dragon Ball, I guess. And this is Super Mario. It's basically if Mario had a super form. I'll probably put up the final digital drawing over on the screen somewhere. But moving on, this is actually based off of one of my friend's characters that I made into a Sonic character, and I decided to just draw them like this. Like how this one turned out. I think it looks pretty nice. This is a goth version of my South Park character. This is based off of the point in the Stick of Truth where you have to make yourself into a goth. He's got the hat, the shirt, and all that. I gave him these wings that are kind of like melting. I tried to make it look like edgy and stuff. And I think it looks nice. I really do. This drawing right here is based off of another YouTuber who goes by Modest Neko. She is an animator. She mainly does like South Park animations. I think she also does like Pokemon animations as well. And this is her character. Her name is Samantha Himitsu. And she has this cute little cat hat right here. Honestly, I really like how this turned out because I decided to go on and add details and shading and stuff to this one, which I normally don't do with traditional art. This page is covered in a bunch of little lines to see what colors would fit best for this drawing. And in the end, I think it looks pretty nice. This is based off of something in Pokemon Sword and Shield, the newest additions to the Pokemon franchise, where you can make your own curry. This is kind of based off of the little thing where your character like tastes it. It's definitely not the best, but I still think it's pretty good. This is a drawing of Blaze the Cat. She is my favorite female Sonic character. And I drew this with the fire and stuff, because, you know, she has like fire powers. And I drew her in her outfit from Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Because why not? I added some kind of like shading and stuff to the fire to give off a nice effect, and I think it looks good. The actual character itself, not the best, but overall, it's alright. I almost just gave away a Christmas present I'm giving to someone, so I think that's it for this sketchbook. Yeah, it is. Oof, that was a close one. So we have that. I have another sketchbook right here. This one I got in my 7th grade art class. Let's see if I can just actually prop it up on here. Oh, or not. Okay. You want to cooperate with me? You know what? I'll just hold it like this. So this one has a bunch of different sketch activities and projects we did. This page has some vocabulary on it. One of the first things we did was draw a shoe. So I thought that was interesting. This is a front view of the shoe. And that is a bottom view of the shoe. This is a giant light bulb that our teacher put in front of us to sketch. This is something that he would do. He would either put things in front of us or take us to certain things if they were too big to carry and have us sketch them at different points of views and angles and stuff. So we had that. This is the light bulb when it's like sideways. And this right here is a little shading chart. This is also where I got this little shading thing that I use sometimes. I'll like brush it on this thing and get some pencil marking on it so I can use it to shade stuff. Really useful thing to have. We also watched some documentaries of architects, and whenever the screen would show some of their work, he would pause the documentary and have us sketch what we saw in front of our faces. So this is a building. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be it reflecting off the water, I think. I don't know. It's been a while since I saw that. That's another building. More crazy stuff that's actually kind of hard to understand what's going on without any kind of context or something. So we won't go too much into this. These architectural terms, that's where this came from. We kind of learned about architectural terms and we were given like a bunch of them and we had to sketch them. So as you can see, we have a bunch of different examples of them. Like that. And yeah. More documentary stuff. Right there. Someone made a giant pair of binoculars. And that's what that is. I don't know what that is. This is some vocabulary. I'm gonna skip over that. These are actually like from the school. This is kind of like what the ceiling looks like. It had this weird little wavy light thing on it. And we went out there and sketched it at different points of views and angles. I also sketched a individual light, and they had a little campfire thing set up in the lobby, so I sketched that. More architecture-y. They made little people down there for like a size comparison. This is something that my art teacher had in his room. It was like a huge pile of instruments and stuff, and he put us around this thing to sketch it. It had a guitar, a clock, some trumpets and trombones and saxophones, a record player, I think that's what that is, a vase. I think this is when we practiced, what's the term, contrast, and we did some practice with that. We also did some practice involving lighting, as you can see. This is a hallway in the school that I drew out. These are some notes I took on another documentary. This is Falling Water. I think that's what this is supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be Falling Water, which is a famous building which was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. There's another drawing of it. Here's some other things which I don't really remember what they are. I think this was supposed to be Frank Lloyd Wright himself. He actually paused the documentary when it showed a portrait of him, and he had to sketch him. So I think mine turned out pretty good. I think. More architectural buildings and stuff. And so I actually decided to start using this as a personal sketchbook for my personal drawings and stuff. And one of the first things I did in here was make this drawing for whenever Octo expansion was a thing. I drew a topless Octoling boy. Yeah. This is a random drawing I did of a random girl I just drew together. I did this so I could practice drawing breasts, and I decided to draw some glasses too. I think this one turned out pretty well. I like how I did the hair. I think the hair looks pretty good. I actually drew this drawing of Blaze before the one I showed in the other sketchbook, and I really like how this one turned out. This one actually looks pretty good. It's a drawing of her adjusting her little hair. And yeah, it's very cute. I was gonna put the drawing that you saw on that sketchbook in here, but I didn't really have enough room, so I was kind of stuck, and I just decided to put it in the bigger sketchbook. I tried drawing Amy right here. I posted this on Twitter, so if you follow me on Twitter, you can actually see some of the artwork I did. So yeah, that would actually be a pretty good reason to follow me there. So yeah. This is a drawing of a South Park character from the most recent season. I think her name is Sophie Gray. She is a new girl who has diabetes and who Scott Malkinson develops a crush on. I liked her design, so I decided to draw her in my style. I gave her these nice little eyes. I tried to make her twirling her hair because that's what I saw her doing a lot in the episode. I actually like how this little thing turned out here. This thing here actually turned out pretty nice. It was very tedious and irritating to make, but in the end, it all turned out nice. So, that is all I have. I do have 2 other sketchbooks right here, but there's nothing in them. So, those are there for if I either run out of room in my other sketchbooks. I was actually going to make my comic in one of these, but as I said before, I just never got around to it. So, I thought I'd do this, and I want to know, do you guys want me to do more art-related stuff on my channel? Because I was actually looking back on a couple of my other speed art videos I did at the beginning of the year, and they actually had a decent amount of views, to my surprise. So yeah, I just thought I would address that, see if you guys would want to see that in the future. And that's all I have for today. I will see you guys next time. Bye!